Welcome to week 3, Guardian Scholars. I've already given you an introduction to level 1. Week 3 is the first week of level 1. So you can go through modules or through the homepage, but you'll see we have our week 3 welcome and preview. We don't have any Zoom class this Monday because of the holiday. After that, I have a quick introduction to Grit by Angela Duckworth. So if you click on there, there's a couple of really short videos and some links that are interesting. After you read that, you'll want to move on to your weekly reflective journal. Now, I reference the fact that Angela Lee Duckworth talks about goal setting, but you don't have to have read this necessarily to do the reflection, so that's fine. Again, it should be 15 minutes. Don't spend too long on this, but think about your goals. You are going to start reading chapter 4 and finish it before Tuesday and do your metacognitive reading log. We're already pretty familiar with this. I have some questions to think about before you read, and the point of this is not to turn those in, but just to really get as much as you can out of the reading by preparing your mind for what you're going to read. Then, as you're reading, chunk it out. It's about 25 pages, so think about breaking it into 2 to 3 sections and think about good natural places to stop. Recite and annotate the main ideas, reflect and respond to any areas of confusion, previous knowledge, agreement, or disagreement. That's really annotation for you so that you get the most that you can out of the reading. But after you read, you are going to pick 2 golden lines, do an 8-word summary, and a 100-word hot take. And again, I have the model in here that you can preview or download if you'd like to see how to do that. I used chapter 3, which we're not reading for the class, for my model. And then I have the explanation of how to submit. After that, we're going to have another Flipgrid discussion. I'm hoping by now that we've been able to troubleshoot for those of you who have been struggling with getting into it. I know most of you have been doing just fine. Okay. We're going to have a support activity. This will count towards English 91, but it's really an important thing for you to look at because this is how to do thesis statements. And so I have a little quiz. Really, I'm going to give you credit for anything that you try on this, okay? It's not a quiz where I'm going to grade you down. But what I want you to do is watch the video, and then I have a thesis that I'm going to ask you to write. Because we're missing our required meeting on Monday, Wednesday is going to be our required meeting. And I'll give an asynchronous alternative for anybody who can't make it. And then I have a support activity based on essay structure. So again, if you don't know really how to write an introduction to an essay or what a body paragraph should be constructed like or a conclusion, these are really important videos to watch. Now, I made these before. You can tell that I made them using Zoom without any of my class around, but these are how I teach. So this would be the equivalent of a lecture. What I'm trying to do is avoid having our Zoom time together be lecture because I can easily make a video like this, and so the time that we spend on Zoom I'm hoping will be increasingly interactive as we get further into the semester. We have a second chapter that we're reading this week, and so again I have pre-reading questions that I've set up for you. I have some suggestions about how to break it up so that you're not reading all at once. And then I have the MRL guidelines. After that, we have our 3 S's for step 3. So again, you've done this twice now, so it should feel pretty familiar by now. Now we're going to have our second week at the Writing Center, and what you'll notice is this time I give you options. So I'm going to suggest that you either do Understanding the Writing Prompt, which is really terrific, and it's a way of really thinking about writing, really thinking about how to understand what you're being asked to do. And then the other suggestion I have is summary writing, because we will summarize a lot in this class. We'll have another Zoom study room, which is optional on Friday. I will record it. And then we'll have a writing sprint at the end of the week. And I have an explanation of what you're going to be graded on. I have strategies for timed writing. And I have a study guide so that you can prepare in advance. And just so you know, the thesis activity earlier on in the week also addresses this. So if you do the thesis activity, you'll be even more prepared for the writing sprint. You'll notice that the points have gone up from 20 to 30 points. So things are starting to be worth more as we enter into the class further. And that's it for the week. I have not gotten yet to week 4, so I will launch that class, that portion of the class soon enough.